Good morning or afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Walsh, and I'm the Director of Support, Training, and Documentation for BNI Connect. I'd like to welcome everybody to the webinar today. Today's webinar is on the Connections, Groups, and Testimonials functionality within BNI Connect. It's really the social media portion of BNI Connect. And today we're going to talk about how we can really tap into the global nature of BNI Connect in order to possibly find resources or referral sources worldwide using this BNI Connect system. One of the cool things about BNI Connect is that this is the first time in the history of BNI that all of the members around the world are connected through a single resource. Before BNI Connect, if I wanted to look up or find another member in another state or in another region or even in another country, it was nearly impossible for me to do that. I mean, I might be able to do a Google search or something and maybe come across by chance another regional website if the other region even had a website. But now that we have BNI Connect, it really ties everything together. And through these resources, I can now expand my network really on a global basis with other like-minded individuals. Before we get started on today's content, just a couple of housekeeping tips. This is a live webinar, so as we're going through any of the material today, if you have a question about anything, please do feel free to ask those questions as we're going through. If you type your question into the question panel, I'll see it pop up on my screen, and I'll be able to answer those questions right in line with what we're doing. The webinar is scheduled for about 30 minutes worth of content. I know that everybody has busy lives and busy schedules, so I want to make sure that you can get back to your pre-scheduled things right away. That being said, if people do have questions and they have a little bit more time to spend, I am always happy to stay on these calls as long as people have questions. The webinar, including all of the questions, is being recorded. It will be made available in two places. The first place is on our BNI Connect support site. The place that you can go for that is if you click on this question mark here in BNI Connect, this big question mark in the upper right-hand corner, that will take you over to our support site. On the support site, you'll see our list of webinars, and you'll also see a section called Chapter Training and Documentation. In there, you'll see recorded webinars. If you click on that, you'll see all of the webinars month by month by month. If you click on a month, it will show you all of the webinars for that month. You can then review them and watch them again. You can also share them with your other chapter members and invite other people to review them. You'll be able to find all of our recorded content on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. We have hundreds of videos that are uploaded here. Some of them are short 3 to 5 minute educational moments like this one on how to join a group. The other ones are recorded webinars. There's also special announcements from Dr. Meisner, as well as whenever we do a release, we do a quick video showing all the new functionality. All right, so let's get started with today's subject. As I said, this is now a global database, so just about the entire BNI world is within this walled garden of BNI Connect. One of the things to keep in mind is we're going to be talking about really connecting with other people worldwide. You really want to make sure that you do take some time to fill out your profile completely if you haven't done so already. The reason for that is that this is a globally accessible database. When you fill out your profile, it is available in a couple of different places. The first and possibly most important thing is that it is on a number of public-facing websites, meaning that anybody with access to the internet can find you. It is also being categorized by Google, for example. So like if I look myself up, so I'm just going to type in my name and nothing else into Google. The very first thing, now I have a lot of stuff out there on the internet. I have my personal websites, I have my Facebook sites, I have my business sites, I have my business Facebook and LinkedIn and all sorts of things. The first thing that shows up in my results is my BNI Connect profile. And you definitely want to make sure that your profile is filled out, because if somebody does find you, let's say that I'm looking for somebody, I go up to my regional website and I go to find a person here, and I'm going to look up my friend up there in Antarctica. His name's Ricky Martin, and here he is. Now, if somebody comes across a profile like this versus a profile like this, there's a different level of credibility there that is passed along. And again, there's the regional sites. This happens to be off of my chapter website. There's also the regional site, bniri.com. In the United States, we also have a national website, bniamerica.com. So this is another whole website that we have visibility on. There's also the ability to find people globally, and that's on the inside of BNI Connect. So we're going to show you that as well. To fill out your profile, I'm not going to go too far into that today because we do a whole webinar just on all the ins and outs of filling out your profile. But just a quick review here. To update your profile, click on Update Profile or click on Options, My Account. They both take you to the same place. And you'll see a number of tabs here along the top. These are all the different pieces of information you can fill out. Your main profile, your pictures you can upload there, your contact details, all of your settings for what you'd like displayed, your bio, commercial, gains profile, and tops profile. If you're a director, you have a director profile as well, and your training history. The only thing I want to take a couple of minutes to go through today on this webinar is on the first tab, and that is on your main profile. The thing that you want to pay special attention to when it comes to the social media portion of this is your keywords. The keywords are really important because that's how people are going to find you when they don't know your name. So a lot of times when people are searching on, let's say, the regional websites, or they're searching here in BNI Connect for somebody, they're searching by categories and professions or what it is that they need help with. By default, it is going to search a number of different criteria in your profile. I mean, it's going to search for your name, it's going to search for your company name, it's going to search by your industry and classification, but it, more importantly, is going to search by your keywords. So the classifications and industries are standardized in BNI Connect, so they have to be chosen from a list. So there may be additional things that you do, or they might not be a completely matching category based on what's available in the system. And this is where you can make up for that in the keywords. So you can see here on my profile I have industry of computer and classification of computer services. So people will find me if they do a search for computer in Rhode Island, for example. They'd also find me, though, if they want to do searches on other things as well. So when I added all of these to the list, so if they were searching for help desk or support, that was a big one for me, or consultant or software or consulting. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's say that you're in bookkeeping. If your industry is accounting and your classification is bookkeeper, you may also want to put bookkeeping down here in the keywords as well so that you're found by both terms. It's also good to add possibly some geographic things in here as well. It will search by your address. So whichever addresses are on your profile, the city of your address and the state of your address. Now, I live here. I'm a member in Rhode Island. One of the things about Rhode Island is that it's a really, really small state. I mean, it's only 20 miles wide by 40 miles long. It's the smallest state in the United States. What that means is that here in Rhode Island, there are quite a few people that do business over the borders in the neighboring states. So if I wanted to be found for computer services in Massachusetts and Connecticut, I normally wouldn't be found because my address is in Rhode Island. So what I did was I added Massachusetts and Connecticut here into my keywords. So if somebody's doing a search for computer support Massachusetts or computer support in Connecticut, they'll also find me. Now this works for large states as well. I know we have a couple of people on the line here from Arizona and California. Let's say that you'd like to be found in certain cities in those large states, and let's say that your address happens to be in Phoenix, but you also want to be found in I don't know, Chandler or in one of the neighboring cities outside of Phoenix. You might want to put those city names in your keywords as well so that you're found in those locations. So do take some time to play around with your keywords. There is a 200 character maximum on that, so you do have to be selective with what you put in there. Once you've got those all set and your keywords and people are starting to find you, you may want to start connecting with other people around the world. Now, the connections interface of BNI Connect is really your personal BNI address book of people that you have gotten to know in BNI. Now, to access the social media functions of BNI Connect, after you log in, you'll be on the My BNI business page. And this is all the passing of the referral slips and your statistics here in BNI. If you click on the My Network link, this will take you over to the social media page. You'll see that it has the connections, the groups, your regionally shared documents, testimonials, your regional events, and your messages. There is an internal messaging system in BNI Connect as well. Now, the first thing we can do is we can go and we can look at our existing connections. To do that, we can click on Manage here under Connections, or from any other screen. Let's say that you're deeper in BNI Connect, you can always go to Network Connections. Now, as I said, your connections, this is really your BNI address book, similar to your contacts or people in Microsoft Outlook. So I can scroll through the list here on the left. I can click on somebody, for example, and this will pull up kind of an address card for their membership. I can go through, I can send them a message, I can ask them for a testimonial, I can give them a testimonial, I can go and view their complete profile, or I can remove them from my connections. I can see all of their contact details up here, so I can click on them and send them an email or go to their website, things along those lines. By default, you should start out with at least a couple of dozen connections because you'll be connected to everybody in your chapter. So those connections are managed automatically by the system. So anytime a new member joins your group, you will be automatically connected with them here in BNI Connect. If somebody leaves your group, once they're dropped in the system, they will no longer appear in your connections. Now for those ones, for example, Robin Lucier is a web designer in my chapter. You'll see that I don't have the ability to remove her from my connections. And again, because that's a system managed. Now let's say that you have some connections here, but you want to go ahead and connect with somebody else. You'd like to add some people to your connections. Maybe you visited a chapter, another chapter in your region, or even in another state, and you found somebody that you'd like to get to know better, and you'd like to establish a connection with them. Well, we do that by clicking on Add Connection. We can also do that from any screen in BNI by accessing the BNI directory. And we do that by clicking on this magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner. Clicking on the magnifying glass will take me to the search function of the BNI directory. Now this is a global directory. This will search for all active members and directors around the world. So pretty much any active user in BNI Connect right now. There's about 143,000 active members in BNI Connect and another few thousand directors and executive directors and regional admins. So there's quite a few people here. There are a couple of countries, most notably Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. They're currently using a separate system. They will be migrating over into this system early next year. At that point, the entire BNI world, all 160,000 members or so, will all be in the same database. So to search for somebody, you just need to type something in. So let's see, we have Jacob Baker on the call with us today. Let's say I wanted to connect with Jacob Baker. I could type his name in and click search. This will bring me up all the exact results here. And we have a Jacob Baker. He's in the Ledge Light BNI in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. I could click on Jacob's name here, and I would get a better view of his profile. And I can see that he has his logo here. I see his website. Now, if I'd like to connect with Jacob, I can do that by clicking on the Add Jacob to My Connections. And this will start a new message to Jacob. I could personalize this message if I'd like to. I could say, "Hi, Jacob. Thanks for being on the webinar today. I would like to add you to my connections." Now, once I submit this, he'll get an email notification saying that I would like to connect with him. And now that I've sent a request, you'll notice that the link has gone away, so I can't send a second request from here. I can then close this, and I'll be back to my original search. And again, this also works by keywords. Now, this is a great opportunity to also utilize other BNI members or be able to refer other BNI members around the world. For example, I just got back a recent trip. I went down to Virginia to do a couple of trainings for BNI Connect, and it was a great opportunity that if I wanted to connect with somebody in Virginia, let's say I wanted to get a Virginia member to pick me up from the airport, or I'd like to get a massage while I was down there, I can always do that here in BNI Connect. Another reason to do that is, I happen to have clients that are in multiple states. So one of my clients has a headquarters here in Rhode Island, and they also have offices in Washington, D.C., as well as in Florida. So let's say that one of their computers crashes in Florida, and I couldn't help them from here. Wouldn't it be great if I could get a BNI member to go and stand in for me and fix that computer for me down in Florida? Well, I could do that by going to, let's say, computer repair in Florida. And I could do a search. I could then find people that are listed with computer repair in Florida. Now, I could then also further refine this search. Now, this is bringing me back quite a few results. Maybe I want to start searching for towns, but I want to do it without having to research. There is a second search down here that will just filter out things from the list. So let's say I'd like to start putting in some towns maybe of Miami. So now I can see the 5 or 6 people here in Miami. I could then start clicking on their links. And seeing if this is somebody that I might want to do business with. Now I notice, Dalis here. Unfortunately, I couldn't give her a call because she's not sharing her phone number. So I might probably move on to the next person until I find somebody that I might be able to do business with. Now this one sounds like it's good. We have ways to get in touch with this person. I can go check out their Facebook page and see if they're a reputable dealer. And it does look like this is not IT. It looks like it's automotive repair, so I might have to move on to the next person. But again, these are ways in which we can utilize this global resource in order to be able to pass referrals or be able to connect with people worldwide. Now, if you find that you're not having luck with this search, there is an advanced search as well. The advanced search, when you click on it, you'll notice that it breaks all of the fields out individually, which may make it easier to hone in on exactly what it is you're looking for. You can still search by keywords. You can still search by first name, last name. You can search specifically by cities and states, or you can select industries from a drop-down or individual countries from a drop-down. This will allow you to have a more refined search right away if you're looking for very specific things. So once you've started sending out some connection requests, once people accept your connection, you can go back to Network Connections. And once they've accepted your connection request, they will be listed in your connections list. You can also review your sent requests here under the Sent Requests folder. And if there's somebody that hasn't accepted your request yet and you'd like to remind them, you can send them a reminder. If there's something that you no longer wish to have that request out there, you can also remove the connection request by clicking on the Delete button. and now they will no longer have a pending request. Now, once people start wanting to connect with you, you should get an email notification to let you know that you have a received request, but you can even go in and accept the requests by going to your received requests folder here under My Connections. So I can see here that Brian has sent me a request. Now, if I'm not sure who Brian is, I can always click on his name here, and it will bring up his profile. If I'd like to, I can also read his message that he sent me. And if I have multiple requests here, I can click on Select All, which will allow me to select and connect to multiple people at once. When I'm ready, I can click Accept or Connect to Selected. And now Brian will be up in my connections list. Now, testimonials are a way that you can help to increase people's credibility. Testimonials do appear on people's profiles. So if I, for example, I'm going to go take a look at my profile here as other people see it in BNI Connect. You'll see that there's a number of tabs here. So we have my basic profile tab. We have our 60-second presentations and gains and tops profiles. We can see other people's connections, and an interesting thing here is that you can click on a connection of somebody else's. For example, I can click on somebody's connection, and then I can view their profile. Now I can also see their connections, and I can continue to browse through the layers of connections if there's other people that I'd like to connect with. But testimonials also appear on somebody's profile. And again, this is a great way to help your fellow BNI members increase their credibility. To do that, we actually initiate a testimonial through our connections. I can click on one of my connections, and I can choose to give somebody a testimonial. I just need to type my testimonial in, and when I'm sure it's ready, I would click Submit. Now, once you receive a testimonial from somebody, those will appear on your profile. To manage your testimonials, you can go to Network Testimonials, or from the My Connection page, click on the Testimonials button. Here I can review all of the testimonials that I've received from people. I can choose to not display the testimonial or hide the testimonial from my profile if I'd like to. By default, it will be displayed. I could also choose to remove the testimonial from my profile. If I'd like to review testimonials that I've given to other people, I can do that by clicking on the Testimonials Given, and I can review those testimonials. If somebody has requested a testimonial from you, you will see them under the testimonial requests, and you can choose to give, ignore, or reject that offer from here as well. Charlene has a question. She says, do you have to be connected to an individual in order to be able to send them a referral? I ask this because I tried to give a referral to someone outside of my chapter in my search. With submitting the referral slip will not bring them up in the search. So when it comes to referrals, which we do from our home screen here, and the My BNI business page, when you're submitting a referral, you do not have to be connected to the person that you're giving a referral to. Referrals, however, are limited to your region right now, so you can only pass referrals to other people that are in chapters in your general area. And the reason for that is that not all Not all regions right now around the world are recording cross-chapter referrals in their PALMS report, and this is related to the PALMS report. Until everybody in the world are accepting cross-chapter referrals, they are limited just to one particular area. Does that make sense, Charlene? Does that help? Yep, so if one person's in Pennsylvania and you're in Delaware, you would not be able to pass them a referral yet. Hopefully that will happen at some point in the near future. We're all very excited for that to happen someday. But you could still connect with them and send them a referral via email, send them a referral through the messaging system here. That is definitely a possibility. So the business can still be transacted, and the business, the relationship can still be made. It just can't be recorded in the PALMS report right now. All right, the next thing I want to show you is the groups functionality. And again, this is where we can kind of take our global networking to the next level. Besides just connecting with somebody and adding them to your address book, this is where you can have discussions with people and really have conversations with other members around the world. Now we do this, again, through the My Network tab, and we can go to Groups and click on Manage. You can also get there by clicking on Network Groups. Once you're in the Groups section, the groups are all different conversations that are happening. And right now there's about 700 distinct groups here in BNI Connect. And there are groups for all sorts of different things. We can see just a couple here. There's one for BNI printers and advertising agencies. So there's a bunch of people, there's 123 participants in that group that are all talking about things related to that industry. There's one called Online Business Network and Weddings and Event Contact Sphere. So these are all different just topics of conversation that people can either pass referrals, pass business, or just get advice. I know Dr. Meisner has a couple of groups out here where he discusses a lot of BNI related information. Now you can browse through these groups one at a time just by going through the pages. Find one that you like, and let's say that you're interested in the Attorneys for BNI group. I can first go in, take a look at it, maybe take a look at the couple of conversations here, see if there's any conversations that I'm interested in. If I like this group, I could then click on the Join Group button, and I would then be able to participate in the conversation as well as receive notifications. Now you can also create up to 7 of your own groups. We do that by clicking on Add Group. Oh, sorry, I skipped over something. You can also search for groups. I think it would take quite a while to go through 700 groups page by page. You can search for groups by clicking on the magnifying glass. Like let's say you wanted to find Dr. Meisner's groups. Click on Creator and type in Meisner. I can see that there's 3 groups. We have 2 groups by Dr. Meisner and one from his wife, Beth Meisner. You can see that these are very active groups. This one has about 2,300 participants in it, and there are a ton of posts. And one thing to keep in mind, Dr. Meisner manages this group himself personally. So this is an opportunity for you to join a group and have a conversation with Dr. Meisner himself and 2,300 other people. That's some serious visibility right there. As I said, you can add a group as well. So if you don't see a group that you'd like to join, you'd like to manage your own group, you can click on Add Group. All you need to do is come up with the name of the group. So what is the topic that you're going to be discussing? You can choose the access type, whether people can view and post without being a member, if they can only view things, whether it's an open invite only or a members can invite group. Give the group a description. The language is just letting other people know what language you're conversing in. It doesn't do any actual translations. And then you can invite your various contacts to the group as well. So these are the people that you are connected with. Once you're ready, click Submit. And then you need to start doing some posts in the group. So here's the group I just created, and now I need to start a conversation. I can add a new topic to talk about. And then go into the topic. And I can start posting some messages. All right, so we are at the bottom of the hour. For those that do need to leave right away, I do want to say thank you so much for being here with us today. We hope you learned something new. Reminder that this is being recorded. It will be made available on the support site as well as at youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. I would like to open it up for questions at this time. If you have any questions at all about BNI Connect, again, I'm always happy to stay on the call for any questions you might have. It could be about the social media, the groups aspect of things, or anything else in the system as well. Again, happy to answer those questions now. Jacob says, thank you, that was very helpful, and you're very welcome, Jacob. All right, so if there's no other questions, again, thank you so much for being here. If you did find today's session helpful, a good referral for me is to please let other people know about these webinars. Our very next webinar is going to be on Monday, July 28th, so this coming Monday. It will be a couple hours earlier than this. It's going to be at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to be talking about the visitor process in BNI Connect, how you can invite visitors using BNI Connect, how you can register them for an upcoming meeting, how you can thank them for coming afterwards. All of this will be on Monday, July 28th, this coming Monday at 8 a.m. Good referral for me. Please invite people to this webinar. Final request. I would love it if you could give us a like on Facebook. So if you go to facebook.com/BNI Connect Global, we do webinar announcements and tips and tricks and reminders and all sorts of things here on our Facebook page as well. So please do give us a like. I'd love that. All right, if there's no additional questions, again, thank you so much for being here today. I wish you all a wonderful rest of the week and happy connecting, everyone.